I guess these are the sorts of rides we all have to have every once in a while. Most important thing is just to kind of know where you're at, what you're capable of. Alright, so today is going to be a ride to absolutely nowhere. I've got no intentions planned, no route mapped. I was going to go up to Haldon, but I did 150 metres of climbing and didn't have it in me this week, today. If you watched my last video, I mentioned I had a cold. It's really gotten me. I'm trying to make something out of nothing today, which we all have to do at times, right? So, just going to take it easy on myself. Avoid climbs, I guess, is what I just learned. So I think maybe today, I'm just going to take some routes that I don't normally do, really. Starting with turning left here and maybe going in towards Cofton. I think with it being really icy last week in my last video, I wasn't feeling well then, but the ice kind of necessitated having to go slow, which kind of went well with a bit of a recovery ride. And yeah, me choosing to go to Haldon today, obviously there's a good few climbs up that way. Maybe wasn't the best of ideas. And you know, when you start to cycle and you start becoming more capable of bigger distances, you want to kind of, you know, do similar distances each time, just to continue to push yourself, not lose your fitness in any way. But already today with what I'm doing, like I've gone through a few lanes that I wouldn't often do. I'm just looking over to the left, how nice the area is. You do kind of miss that time, like at times when you're just trying to get to the biggest destination. So I think that's going to be the remit today. Just take some of this in. No pressure on distance or anything like that. Enjoy myself. Alright, so I have a plan. I'm enjoying my ride, having sort of changed the plan once, made it a bit easier on myself. I'm going to go over towards Exminster and then climb up out of Exminster up towards the golf course, and I don't know, make my way through some of the lanes. I guess these are the sorts of rides we all have to have every once in a while, and most important thing is just to kind of know where you're at, what you're capable of. I've never seen it so busy down here before. I think it's because we've had such a bad week of weather, or 2 weeks really. If it hasn't been icy, we had a big storm, and there's a bit of sun. Everyone's out catching up on what they missed. Me included. So this is the climb now, up to the golf course.
You're kidding me, aren't you? Excuse me. You okay, boss?
I'm good.
Thank you.
Thank you. My bike has been quietly sat in storage all week, wondering where I am. I was kind of like imagining getting it out of the shed and having like loads of rust over it. If I had have cleaned it like the last time I put it in the shed, like cleaned it really well. I tend to try and clean the chain off really well and then re-lubricate it. I know if I had have done that and then left it for a week, I would have pulled it out. The parts that didn't have like lube on would have kind of gotten rusty a bit. I live by the coast obviously, so the coast is just over here. That sort of, kind of atmosphere and environment isn't good for the bike. So it's actually better that I did kind of just dump it in the shed, a bit dirty, like covered in grease and lube. So although like the chain and the cassette are black, I think that has helped to protect it actually. I think it's like a middle ground, right? You can't kind of treat your bike too well and wash it all the time. I think that's going to lead to issues, more chances of water like getting into places where it shouldn't be, more opportunities for parts not being kind of coated in something at least, therefore they're going to rust. And I also mentioned in my last video wearing the nitrate gloves. So in my last video it was the first time doing it and actually worked really well. I think it kind of nicely insulated my hands. It is good, it does work. The only thing I'll say is when I took my gloves off after last week's video, my fingers had shriveled up, so I guess the salt and the sweat really is like being trapped inside there, which is helping to keep me warm. But I don't know if there's any like long-term effects in doing that. It felt fine, like I didn't even notice it until I took the powdered gloves off anyway. So the ridge in the distance is where we're going to go. We'll go up through the woods there. Oh. Yeah, I love this little cut through. If you come down, I think it's Mamhead Road from Haldon, there's a big descent, and then you can shoot back up here, kind of carry on the fun. So the guy I saw on the hill is obviously doing shooting. It looks like somebody's been up here on a scrambler. It's like a really nice little area. It's almost like, because it's surrounded by the hills, like pretty much all the way around, It's kind of like a bowl that has almost like its own atmosphere. It always seems kind of a little bit warmer here, a little bit stiller. So really nice area. And then this field here, well, a lot of them actually, I think they grow wheat and then they sell it in auctions. But in this field here in particular, I'd often see like little heads popping up, and it would be the deers walking through the long grass. If you kind of made a bit too much noise, they'd dip their heads and then have a look again a little bit later on. So really nice area to come and, yeah, just be quiet and see what's going on really. Oops, and there's me doing some beating. I wouldn't go over to the left if I were you. So this is the drop down to Kenton. Thank you for joining me on this one today. It definitely didn't go as planned as I originally planned, but that's okay, right? Sometimes these things happen for multiple reasons. I turned around, went a different way, wasn't feeling the way that I wanted to go, and I ended up actually enjoying it, and you know, it's kind of really helped me to clear my mind and feel better a little bit. So I guess the lesson is, you know, I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself to do like these big rides that I've kind of done in the past. It's obviously harder in the winter, especially if you're feeling ill. So sometimes it's not so much about doing the big rides and the rides that you kind of been doing in the summer and the better times. Sometimes it's best just to do smaller things, but do it more often. If you've enjoyed this one, then please like and subscribe. I post a new video every week. And if you'd like to follow this activity, my nickname is Every Rider on Strava. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.